Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Spanish Grand Prix. Let me get straight into it. So it was day 2 and that has come to an end. And once again, I'm putting my reaction of free practice number 3 and qualifyings together. Just want to make a very quick video. I did not have once again the chance to make a separate video on the free practice number 3, neither on the qualifyings. That and the reason for that is just these sessions and like the race and stuff in my time zone, it's way too early. So by the time I wake up normally, it's already done. So I had the chance to watch the qualifyings, but I was just way too busy. I had to do something family related that I really had to attend. So that's that. So today I just could not watch the qualifyings, but I hope that I could watch the race tomorrow if everything goes well. Hopefully it's not too early. That's that. Just a quick explanation for that. But so that's the reason why I was not able to watch free practice number 3 and qualifyings. But don't worry, I got my research done. I watched the highlights. I watched everything I needed to watch to properly how do we say analyze the whole performance. And I'm ready to give all of you a good reaction, just give you guys a perspective and my reaction truthfully, basically. you know so free practice number 3 really was just mid. It wasn't the best, it wasn't attractive, it wasn't the worst either. I have seen worse from Ferrari, but just no comments on that. I mean, it is what it is. P4 for Carlos Sainz and P7 for Charles Leclerc. And also, one thing that I also want to add to this reaction is just a personal reaction on both of our pilots. Charles Leclerc, who is supposed to be our number 1 pilot, is having a tough time in Spain. On the other hand, the hometown boy, the hometown lad, Carlos Sainz, is having a wonderful weekend so far. And he has impressed me big times, this weekend. And he has been impressing me ever since his show of promise in Australia. It was just a whole lot of strings of bad luck from the FIA, either that or the car. Those were really like the main reasons why we didn't see strong results from Carlos Sainz. But now, as soon as the improvements are coming and we have a new package in place, now we see what Mr. Sainz is made of. So now we're seeing more promise. And let me be honest here, I'm very, very surprised by his start of the season, and I'm really surprised by just how consistent he has been this season so far. He had a tough first 2 races, but he after Australia, he made a fantastic recovery, and now he's absolutely performing. He's been so consistent, and now I'm ready to say that this season Carlos Sainz is our number 1 pilot. I know Charles Leclerc is still very, very young. He has a lot of potential. He's very talented. I know a lot of flares are flaring up here. I know Ferrari fans are being separated now. Some say that he should leave. Some say he should stay since he's a future. Some say it's a car. Some say it's Leclerc. To be honest, personally, it's the same. I think it's a mixture of both. I'm really 50-50. I think that it's the car itself. I mean, I think that fair enough, if we look at stuff and we go the neutral way, the car, it hasn't been looking sharp. It is not looking good. It's not fast. But on the other hand, Mr. Leclerc has done some very hefty mistakes. He has done a lot of unforced errors, which was 100% pilot errors, unforced errors, meaning that he had no pressure on him. He made a miscalculation, and that cost us either the race or, a lot of these mistakes, by chance came in free practices or qualifyings. And well, no, not qualifyings. I think it was mostly towards the free practices. So it cost us our mechanics. They had to work much harder to repair the car of Charles Leclerc. So that is just, I would say in that way, I think I have some doubts on Charles Leclerc. I'm not 100% keen, but I still for now, I still remain grounded, and I say that Charles Leclerc is still the future. I think personally he is still a wonderful pilot, and I still think that he has tremendous potential, and I still believe that he can be a number one pilot, and he is talented indeed. Let me just put that straight out, as simple as it comes. Now, let me go to qualifying and that performance. Disaster on one hand, and absolute fantastic performance on the other hand. And that was none other than our hometown boy in his hometown race in España. That is Carlos Sainz, who came in at P2. A fantastic result. Now, I am nervous about the race. I mean, we have seen some P1s from us this season, and we have completely embarrassed ourselves coming race day, coming Sunday. So I am not going to get too excited here. I'm not going to get too hopeful. I'm not going to make the same mistakes that I've done so far this year, where I went overboard. I started getting excited. I started like, yeah, we got P1, we got P2. A fantastic result, strong result. Carlos Sainz was flying today. I mean, he was absolutely flying. That is how I saw it today, and I'm going to give my reaction for today. But still, even how excited I was, how happy I was to see Carlos Sainz absolutely flying and taking the car to its absolute limits, I still am worried for tomorrow. So far, we have no results coming race day. We have no podiums, and every time we came so close to some huge hope, we always come down. We always finished P4, P5, P6, P7, P8. Just horrible. I would say horrible, because we have to be honest with ourselves here. And for a team like Ferrari, an elite team, it's horrible. It's a horrible result. So yes, we have so far in race day coming Sunday, we have put some very terrible results. So I am nervous for tomorrow. But I'm just so happy, so proud of Carlos Sainz. I mean, he's been working so hard. He's been so consistent, and he got the result that he wanted today. And I'm just so happy for him. And I just love seeing Carlos Sainz, happy, and just seeing him succeed. Basically, I know he's a very underrated pilot. I've seen it at McLaren. I've seen him at Red Bull when he was with Red Bull, and he always had some spark to him. He always had this special talent that a lot of folks slept on this talent, on this piece of talent. So I felt like he was kind of disregarded. Only like the Spanish, I mean, those who are very loyal Spanish fans and Carlos Sainz fans who truly understood his true talents. And now we're seeing it. And the more the years go by, the more we see how good and how underrated Sainz could be. I know it's all about Lewis Hamilton. It's all about Max Verstappen, and it's even more about Charles Leclerc than Carlos Sainz. I feel like Carlos Sainz gets disregarded a lot, and a lot of people turn a blind eye on him. But he's a wonderful pilot. Now, on the other hand, Charles Leclerc, devastating. P19, the car was just so slow. The car had no pace, no speed. Charles Leclerc just said that he had no belief in the car. He basically said that the car was so jumpy. It was uncontrollable. He had no belief in the car. And to me, that seems alarming. When a pilot says that he has no belief, he has no control, he doesn't, the car does not perform the way he wants it. I think that it's a lack of confidence, and it's not Charles Leclerc's fault. It's both. I would say it's also Charles Leclerc, but it's also Ferrari. I mean, you have to have a sort of fair ground here. Of course, nothing's going to be perfect. There's always going to be one side more than the other. But that is just not good signs. And he came in at P19. Like, we're like Charles Leclerc. I think Charles Leclerc is done. Like, there's no way he's getting a podium, and there's no way he's getting P5 tomorrow. Like, I think he can squeeze in P10s. I'm even thinking maybe P8, P9. But I think it's gonna be, if he's about to have a fantastic race. I always have hope. I always have a side of me where it's like, what if Charles Leclerc just goes crazy and comes P1? Of course, there's always that side of me, but that's really unrealistic, But it's not impossible. It's not impossible, But it's really, really unrealistic. But it could happen. But if we see it as realistic, and if we see it by the statistics, I think that roughly the best result he could get, even if he has a fantastic race, the best he could get is, I'm thinking in P5, P6, or I would say between P5 to P8, P9. That's my guess. If he has a terrible race, if he performs the way that he performed today, he is gonna stay bottom 10th. He's gonna finish like P12, P15, and that's really bad. It's really bad. So now we're in a tough situation, and now we're relying and putting all of our hope, all the Ferrari fans that's still loyal to us, that are still have the love for Ferrari. We are all counting on Carlos Sainz. We have all our hope on him, since he's the only one that can get the best result and potentially fight Max Verstappen. I know Max Verstappen, he's an absolute beast. He's a monster. He's a monster. I mean, on the straights, he's too fast. I mean, even Sergio Perez, way too fast. But I still want to see a few fights there. I know he may not even get P1, but we never know. It's not impossible. And I want to just end this video with saying that I was just so happy to see the podium, though. Like, not the podium, sorry. I meant the starting grid for tomorrow. Of course, Max Verstappen comes in at P1, and then at P2 is our man. Very happy, very proud of him, Carlos Sainz. And then Lando Norris, man. I really missed him. I mean, Lando Norris have had a tough stretch as well. McLaren has been absolute, I would say garbage. I mean, they have been really bad. And, I'm not in that position to talk, but McLaren is just way worse than us. I mean, they're way worse. They have so many issues. And I was really surprised of how badly their season started. They were, I think they still are, like, very bottom grid. At least it's us, like, at least Ferrari, we're, along the lines of, Aston Martin, Mercedes, but McLaren are really down below with teams like Haas, Williams. So it's really, really surprising. It really did surprise me. Since McLaren is such a big team, they had plenty of stars, like guys like Ayrton Senna and Mika Häkkinen and so many more legends. So it's really disappointing to see how bad they've done this year. But I really hope them the success, and seeing Lando Norris finally being at the top table and getting P3, which is absolutely, I mean, for, if you're a true not Ferrari, but if you're a true F1 fan, you know how big this result is, even though it's just P3 for some, for the normal fans. But yeah, really happy of Lando Norris, just seeing Verstappen, Sainz, and Norris starting tomorrow and being top three. It's fantastic. It was great scenes, you know. And also I think like they're very close friends, good friends as well. So it just added more wholesomeness to this starting grid for tomorrow. So that's that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening to this video. So let me just finish it off real quick and just give you guys just a small recap of the results. So free practice number 3, Carlos Sainz at P4 and Charles Leclerc at P7. And then qualifyings, Carlos Sainz at P2 and Charles Leclerc unfortunately at P19. The only person that is behind him is Logan Sargent. So terrible results from Mr. Leclerc, but we really just keep on hoping, and we'll see what happens tomorrow, and let's just enjoy the race, you know. Of course I have the passion for it. Of course I'm very passionate about this team and this sport, but let's just enjoy and be free-minded, healthy-minded, and just enjoy the race regardless of what happens. Of course I'm going to be sad as a Ferrari fan, but it is what it is. So thank you guys once again for tuning in. I hope all of you are having a good day. I wish you guys all the best. Not the guys, but if there's ladies out there watching, I wish you lads and ladies the absolute best. Have a great night, everybody. Bye bye. Take care.